Lawful permanent residents or green card holders, avoid these 6 things if you intend to keep your lawful permanent resident status. Number 1, abandoning or relinquishing your lawful permanent resident status. For example, staying outside the US for more than a year at a time without a valid re-entry permit. Number 2, being absent from the United States for a continuous period of more than 180 days or more than 6 months. Number 3, engaging in unlawful or illegal activity after you leave the United States as a lawful permanent resident. Number 4, leaving the United States where you are in removal proceedings in immigration court. Number 5, committing an offense under immigration law, for example, as it relates to a criminal-related ground of inadmissibility or even fraud or misrepresentation. Avoid committing crimes. Number 6, attempting to enter the US at a time or place other than as designated by immigration officers, or you have not been admitted to the United States after inspection and authorization by an immigration officer. When any of these 6 things that I've mentioned happens and you are coming back into the United States, you become what is called an arriving alien. You're no longer categorized as a returning resident. An arriving alien means a lawful permanent resident who is deemed to be seeking admission. They may be charged as removable from the United States as an arriving alien. Lawful permanent residents that are charged as removable, including those who are alleged to have abandoned their US residence, they have the right to a hearing before an immigration judge. Remember that although you have a right to a hearing before an immigration judge, CBP or customs at airports, for example, they may attempt to convince you that your absence from the United States has resulted in an automatic abandonment of your US residence, and they could force you to sign the form I-407, which is a record of abandonment of lawful permanent resident status. You do not lose your lawful permanent resident status merely because of time you've spent abroad. If you're a green card holder or you're a lawful permanent resident, you continue to remain a lawful permanent resident unless the government proves abandonment by clear, unequivocal, and convincing evidence, and until an order of removal is issued by an immigration judge and becomes final. The form I-407 must be signed voluntarily, willingly, and there are no negative consequences for you as a lawful permanent resident if you refuse to sign the form. If you fail to sign or abandon your LPR status, it is not by itself grounds for detention by CBP. If CBP makes a determination by preponderance of the evidence that as a green card holder you've abandoned your residence in the United States and you refuse to sign the form 407, CBP's only recourse, or what they can do in that situation, is to issue a notice to appear, the form I-862 NTA, so that you can appear before an immigration judge. Even LPRs or lawful permanent residents who have signed the form I-407, they retain the right to request a hearing before an immigration judge to determine whether their lawful permanent resident status was indeed abandoned or has been abandoned. If CBP confiscates your permanent resident card or green card, as a lawful permanent resident, you have the right to alternative evidence of lawful permanent resident status, such as an I-94 card and or a passport stamp, also known as an ADIC stamp or the I-551 stamp. Lawful permanent residents, I hope this information helps you. I'll see you soon in our next video. Bye-bye.